Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. I'm in my swing studio and I want to get round to answering a question, and it related to a previous one of my videos. So the video in question was really talking about the role of the hips and how they should be rising and rotating to the left through impact. And it was titled Raise the Hips to Stop the Flip. So it was trying to get more lower body movement to stop excessive rate of closure, hand action through impact. And the question comes from Blake Adams in Georgia, USA. So thanks for the question. Hopefully this will answer it for you. So Blake has been using this exercise, likes the feeling of it, but found that his bad ones are topped or thin strikes, and wondered if there was any real reason behind this, if I had any suggestions, if I could film a follow-up video on it, hence this one. He did think it may be tension related, trying to maybe incorporate a new move, focusing on it, creating a lot of tension, and that definitely could be the case. So, contracting muscles are shortening muscles are pulling the club off the floor, and that can have the effect of creating more of a thin strike. So I would make sure that the grip pressure, forearm tension stays as light as possible when you're doing this. And there's lots of things you could do in terms of controlling breathing or making sure perhaps we're not standing over the ball too long. But I want to go on to what I think is really happening here and could be happening with a lot of golfers. So I think they're missing this vital stage as we start the downswing of actually pushing into the ground before we push off the ground. So if we were going to jump, we would push down before we sprung off the floor. So we're using that ground force reaction. So we want to be pushing down and feeling the pressure into our lead leg before we actually get these hips rising and turning to the left. So I've got a great exercise for you, Blake, and for everybody else at home. Just using a tour stick, popping it across your hips, maybe with most of it towards the target, just so this end doesn't get in the way on your downswing. And what I want you to get to is the top of your backswing. And what you'll notice is my trail hip is higher than my lead hip, the same way that my trail shoulder is higher than my lead shoulder. So as we're coiling this way, we're actually changing. My lead side is actually lowering a little bit. There's a bit of side tilt, of course, in the backswing. So you'll notice this trail hip is higher. What I actually want to get is, as we start the downswing, my hips closer to level again. So there's almost a sitting movement as I apply pressure into this lead leg. So when you're doing it with this exercise, you're just trying to get the trail hip high, the hips back towards level before the hips start to rise and rotate to the left. If I got to this first top of the backswing and my first movement was just the hips rising and turning to the left, you can see that shot my body into early extension, which is when my butt tucks forwards, head comes back, and that's definitely going to cause thinned topped shots and probably more toe strikes as well. So maybe check that one out. So if we're getting early movement of these hips as we start the downswing, haven't pushed into the ground first, we're more likely to create these topped or thin shots. We definitely want to get that feeling from here of sitting into our lead side. You can see my hips are more level before my hips will start to turn and rise towards the target. So I think that will be the reason really you're getting that movement. I'm going to go ahead and just hit one or two. I'm just going to do a nice slow pace just so you can try and see it more from face on here. Winding to the top of the backswing. Sitting, so my hips are more level before my hips start to rise and turn left. Sitting in here before my hips start to rise and turn. So I caught that a little heavy, which means I've sat here and perhaps I haven't pushed off the floor enough through impact. So we can do just one more of those. Stop at the top. Sit so my hips are more level, and from there push off the floor. So again, really trying to get that Feeling of these hips rising into impact. Let's put it into a full movement. Just wait for that to come back onto the driving range screen. So I'm just going to the simplest way to put it into a full golf swing out in the course would be the feeling of applying a little bit of pressure into that lead foot as we start our downswing. Let's give it a whirl. Although that's leaking right, club face a little open, that felt really solid in terms of the contact, in terms of the strike. And the distance was about what I'd expect for a 7-iron. So numbers were pretty good, just club face was a little bit open, 2.6 open, so leaked it right of target. I know that exercise is going to help you. Please post some comments and questions below. Let me know how you get on with that. If it is something you're suffering with as well, those top strikes, maybe toe strikes, you feel that you're early extending, make sure we're getting this squat movement, this settle at the start of the downswing. All the other content coming Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. And also check out the previous video to this on the roll of the hips. I'll put the link to it in this video as well. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.